This whole concept of, are UFOs real? Are they? I have no knowledge, to be honest, about this. So you would be in a better place to say about UFOs and their reality.
Yeah, I think that the best book I could recommend to anybody to read on this topic is a book by Carl Sagan. Carl Sagan, famous planetary scientist, astronomer, unfortunately died quite a couple of decades ago now, but very influential on the way the public saw science in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. He wrote a book called The Demon-Haunted World. And it's a lot about superstition and the way that humans place patterns on structures in the world in order to kind of find partly meaning or find excuses or find conspiracy or mystery. And Sagan has quite a long section on witchcraft and on UFOs. And he writes quite coherently about the fact many of the phenomena associated with UFOs, this sort of idea of abduction, this idea of a crushing weight on your chest and a kind of a inability to move, almost the same phenomenology exists in descriptions of witchcraft from hundreds of years earlier. So ufology really came around at the time when the first satellites were being launched, or just before. The idea that rockets were being launched and could be sent to space, it kind of got transposed into, oh, it's aliens then. Whereas 200, 300 years earlier, it was witches doing this to me. And many of these phenomena, and to reverse it, I'm not a medic, I'm an astronomer, but the way Sagan talks about it, he would suggest that many of these things are things that the human body goes through. And the most obvious one is we dream.
Yeah.
We go to sleep at night and we're in a different place than is expected. The human brain conjures up visions.
Dreaming is a state of consciousness.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can experience terror. You can experience great exhilaration. You can have lucid dreams where you are absolutely in that place.
But are they real when you wake up?
No, exactly. I mean, I've lucid dreamed a few times in my life. I mean, people claim you can actually train yourself to lucid dream. I'd love to, because real dreaming it always has that unreality to it. But the few times I've been lucid dreaming, I have been absolutely in that place. I've kind of known that it wasn't real, but every stimulus in that space was real.
Have you been able to kind of shift your dreams or guide yourself through that? Or
occasionally I have been able to interact with dreams in the sense of sort of saying, it's sometimes just in the sense of, this is not real. You need to wake up now, right? I mean, many of us have flying dreams, right? And or anxiety dreams, things which are very much from
subconscious blocks,
subconscious things that you want to try to get out or achieve, or things from childhood. I mean, where the flying dream comes from. And there have been times in my life where I've woken up in the morning and convinced myself, oh, maybe you can fly, because that was so real. And then 3 minutes later you go, shut up. I mean, that's ridiculous. So the fact that those things exist, and of course humans are not all the same. Humans experience many chemical shifts in their brain in different ways. There are all sorts of medical diagnoses of, at the extreme, schizophrenia and other things. So the idea that the human brain can convince itself that it's in a different space, but not really knowing how to explain that. I mean, another classic one for me would be migraine auras. I don't suffer from migraine headaches at all, but for many years now, on a, sort of not a regular basis, sometimes if I'm more stressed, I'll get them. You get these amazing jagged patterns in your eyes which expand out from the center. Scotoma it's called, and it grows into, and it's very geometrical. It's not kind of blurry, like blobby. It's sharp, jagged.
I think I know what you're talking about.
The first time I had it, it scared the crap out of me.
Yeah,
because
I'm actually very prone to migraines and headaches.
I'm lucky I don't get the headaches afterwards. I get the aura, but I don't get the headaches. And if I wasn't able to go to the internet afterwards and find what was one of those, I had it when I was talking to somebody. I'm going, what is going on? This is not good. So now I know what they are, and they go away after 30 minutes, and I'm cool with it. But that's partly because other people explained what it was, right? So you can see how things like UFOs are a part of a continuum of people projecting things which they have felt. And then it becomes part of conspiracy theory, of course, which is very convenient in the modern world to say the government's hiding stuff from you. You don't trust them. There's evidence for this. And as I said earlier on, right, astronomers, scientists, too talkative. There's no way we would have held that secret. And again, people will say, you would say that, and it's all part of the conspiracy. And where do you go with conspiracy theory, right? Yeah. And many conspiracy theories, UFOs, if you do the kind of a matrix of conspiracy theories, people who believe in UFOs also tend to believe in other conspiracies, 9/11 and all this kind, So it's a state of mind, which also can be self-reinforcing, right? If you feel paranoid that people don't believe you on one thing, you'll find other places that, but this must be true because that's true over there as well. And social media, of course, has enabled this to spread wildly, because historically you might have one person in the village who also believed in these things, right? And everybody else would say, come on guys, just stop this. But now you can build a village, a town, a city worldwide by joining a club and saying, yeah, but it's true, isn't it? Like, I've seen it over here. And I mean, the one thing I would say is everybody carries a camera now. Highly sophisticated camera.
You don't know what the truth is.
Well, the thing is that where are the great pictures of UFOs? I mean, we're still seeing the fuzzy rubbish that we saw back in the 50s and 60s when nobody carried a camera around. It's like, come on, everybody should have high-def pictures of UFOs all the time if they're real. The flip side being that we can also create amazing visual effects these days. And the people are making fake videos, dumping them on the net and saying, hey guys, look. So there's a political angle to this as well, of course. And that political angle is an interesting, particularly in the American context, is people don't trust government. People say you're hiding, show me the evidence. And then certain politicians weaponize that. They will say, I'm a kind of renegade politician. I want to be on your side and say the government has been hiding things. So I'm going to create an investigation into UFOs, and I'm going to force NASA to join in because I need to show that maybe they are hiding things. And it only adds to the fact that people think you are hiding things. So I've seen things in life. I've seen UFOs in the sense of unidentified flying objects. I'm a pilot. I've seen things in the sky. I've seen things in the night sky. But you go, well, it's one of those. There are amazing things occur in the night sky if you spend time looking at it. Even satellites going overhead and blinking lights and all sorts of things, or Venus hovering by the horizon, or mirages. But there's a wish fulfillment also about all of this. I want to believe that there's something beyond, the X-Files thing. I want to believe. It's like, yeah, well, if you want to believe, then you probably do believe, and you're discounting the evidence which says it's not real. This is just human psychology. So, but again, UFOs really only became prominent when people started actually putting stuff into space. So maybe in 50 years' time, it'll be another phenomenon, which is, I don't know, maybe it's the people with the vaccine, right? Oh, I shouldn't take the vaccine because it's going to, do things to me. It's another conspiracy theory.